Well, hello there, I'm Kevin B, and welcome to Kevin's Top 7. Today I'm going to be talking about after-school cartoons. Number 7 on my list is Dave the Barbarian. Dave the Barbarian is set into the Middle Ages sort of time, even though there's been a few kind of like modern references of technology and stuff in the show. It's set into that time where there's the main character and protagonist, Dave, hence the name. He's a barbarian who is unlike many barbarians. He's a coward and very sensitive. Of course, join with him the rest of his family, his sibling sister who's a princess ruling the kingdom for their parents for the while. His other sister who I think was like a cave chick looking person. I don't know too well. And I believe a wizard uncle as well. All of them combined create some weird shenanigans and whatnot in different episodes, of course. And it's just interesting to see how that happens and whatnot, as well as the classic breaking the fourth wall, especially with child cartoons. Only this one kind of breaking the fourth wall isn't exactly breaking the fourth wall, as there's actually a character called the narrator, which, well, does his job as being a narrator of the story. Except he can communicate with the characters and, well, vice versa, which just creates some weird, interesting relationship between a character you can't see and the characters on screen. Number 6 on my list is The Emperor's New School. This show is kind of based off of The Emperor's New Groove, which actually has a similar plot to the show. Emperor's New Groove is basically Kuzco, the main-centered emperor guy, is being plotted against by Esma to be assassinated by poison, when in fact she accidentally turns him into a damn llama. It's a very good film, I really enjoyed it, and the show actually has a similar plot. Instead of Kuzco being assassinated and whatnot to be poisoned and so that she can take the throne, she's actually trying to take the throne by failing him, since Kuzco has to pass all of his classes and graduate this academy to become emperor again. So she's trying to fail him and whatnot, and it's just very cool to see what kind of shenanigans that show can create, especially with the villain being the principal, which we all can relate to, because I imagine a lot of us hated our principals. Number 5 on my list is, well, as you can probably tell from my voice, Lilo and Stitch the series. This is also kind of like The Emperor's New School, where it is actually based off of an animated film, Lilo and Stitch. And it actually does continue off in the movie, where Lilo and Stitch have to find all of Stitch's cousins, or Jumbo's experiments, with their unique powers where they fit best. Number 4 on my list was American Dragon Jake Long. This series is kind of set into New York and whatnot, where it follows the character Jake, who balances his daily life and also is a fucking dragon. I just found that awesome, to be able to transform into a fucking dragon. As well as doing that, he also has to protect magical beings and cool creatures and stuff. Number 3 on my list also involves transforming. It's Danny Phantom. I just really enjoyed this cartoon because of the cool aspect of transforming into a ghost. The show centers around the character Danny Fenton, whose parents are paranormal investigators slash hunters. They hunt ghosts and shit. And Danny, for some reason, decided to go inside their ghost portal-y thing while it was turned off, and accidentally turns it on. This infuses the DNA with, I guess, ghost DNA. I never knew that was possible. Thus turning him into half ghost, half human, allowing him to transform into Danny Phantom. I really like the show's concept of it, but it also gave me the great question. If he's half ghost and half human, is he dead or alive? I could not freaking tell. 2 on my list is Recess. Now, it might be interesting to think, well, you got home from school, it's after school type cartoons. Why are you watching something about recess? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Recess is sort of the kind of fantasy that I'd like Recess to kind of been like as a kid. Basically how it is a bunch of cool elementary school kids and whatnot in the realm of their playground and whatnot, being at recess time. And the cool part about it is that it's sort of like modern day society. They have their own groups and clans and factions and their own ways of government in their own playground area. Like a bunch of kids are doing this. I found it very interesting of a concept to have, that a bunch of kids are governing themselves and people and whatnot have different roles to play on recess. I mean, in my school for recess, it was go play around with your friends, have fucking fun, run around, burn energy. For this one, it's, alright, who's voting for the king guy? Who? Yeah, okay, cool, you, and whatnot. And, yeah, okay. Also, I never got the concept of why the kindergartners of the show were, animals and creatures of different, like a tribe-like thing. It was like primitive tribe or something. I'm trying to describe. You'd have to watch the show to see what I'm talking about, but it was interesting. I never got why, but it was kind of fun. Number 1 on my list is The Weekenders. I really enjoyed this show as it just kind of portrayed a weekend that I'd actually like to have. It centers around 4 characters, Tino, Carver, Lore, and Tish, who are, I'm pretty sure, like 13 or 12 or 13 and whatnot. And so they would have weekends and hangouts and all that stuff. Stuff that you would really want to have as a teenager. And so these characters would just hang out and be friends and whatnot, and they are. And they do things that, well, I wish I could do, but of course I never could. I'm in a small fucking town, it's pretty damn boring here, but it was just awesome to see either way. That is just kind of cool. It also had the breaking the fourth wall aspect, kind of like Dave the Barbarian, where the character Tino would actually talk to the audience. He would pause in the middle of a weird scene, like a situation going on with his friends. Boom, they go black and white. He'd be colored and he'd start talking. Or the beginning of the show, he'd start talking. Like, it kind of made me wish I had that power just so I could shut people up if I really wanted to, you know? Just be like, I know shit's getting really bad. It's hitting the fan, but I can solve this. It was awesome. It was fun to see. I really wish my weekends were like that, and I really wish Recess was kind of like that for number 2. Well, there you have it. My top 7 list of cartoons that I used to watch as a kid after school. I really enjoyed. Now it is your turn. I want you guys down below in the comment section to give me your top 7 cartoons you used to watch as a kid, or still watch, or just in general cartoons you like. While you're down there, of course, give a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you like to see more of this kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.